Let's talk about the proper way to heal your diastasis recti in 2025 at home and no surgery is needed. You know, this term diastasis recti didn't even exist in my dictionary. It wasn't even in my head that there's such a term exists, even though my belly was very improportional after I had given birth, and I simply thought it was just extra baby weight. I just needed to lose weight. So I did Shaun T's program. I was very consistent because I wanted to change more than I wanted to stay the same. I did all kinds of workout, HIIT, cardio, plank, crunches, and then later on I did like bird dog, leg slide, right, pelvic tilt, those supposedly the diastasis recti exercises. And now going backward, I can really see, okay, what is really needed to help you heal your diastasis recti in a much more painless way, much faster way to see the results. Now I have put together a very easy and simple method or formula for you to memorize this so that you can actually go step by step on it. It's called the IMAP, IMAP. You need a map for navigation, so you need a map for yourself. This is not a gimmick because M is for mind to muscles connections, A is for alignment, P is for progressive overloading, and I is for integrative nutrition. So in this video, I am going to go over each of them and give you some of the insights and exercises example to show you how to actually use this formula IMAP here to help you heal your diastasis recti. Now, the proper way to heal the ab separation is both the aesthetic, of course we don't want to look like we're still pregnant when we're not, and the functional aspect. So we wanted to be feeling capable, feeling that we are stronger than even before having baby, because we're a mother now. We want to be healthier and be there for our children. You might know after watching so many of my videos on how to check the diastasis recti, but you really need to know the positions of the diastasis recti, both in terms of the gap and how deep it goes into the gap. Is it more toward the upper diastasis, so where it's up on the sternum to the belly button, or is it just around the belly buttons area, or is it below the belly buttons area? So we wanted to know this so that we can target through progressive overloading exercises, and also when we are working on our A for the alignments later on, we will want to know how to target that better. Let's talk about the M here, mind to muscles connection. So oftentimes our belly feels like it's like has a mind on its own, don't you think? Especially if you're earlier in your postpartum, or if you have a really bad diastasis recti like how I did, you feel like even if you're trying to use your core, it doesn't want it to work with you. And you know, if you have done a lot of the YouTube exercises on other channels, they will say like pull in your stomach, suck in your stomach, or engage your core. But like, I don't even know half the time if I was doing it correct. I'm trying to suck in the stomach, but my stomach still look like it's still bulging out. So there is a disconnection. It's more a mental effort than a physical effort. So we're not talking about actually bring the hip bones in toward the middle or actually bring the belly button toward your spine. It's whatever cueing that works for you. So if I'm asking you, you can do that with me right here, is to imagine picking up a blueberry with your ladies' parts, okay? Can you feel that lifting? Can you feel that suction going up, right? Can you feel it? So it's similar to a Kegel. Can you see, now you're looking at the lower abdomen, can you feel the lower abdomen drawing in, right? And then can you feel the middle abdomen drawing in? Now let me show you an example here. Now when we think about core engagement, people might be thinking they're sucking in the stomach. So they will be like, all of a sudden, there's a lot of pressure, upper abdomen that is gripping down, pushing the stomach out, right? You see the rounding of the stomach down here, right? This is where maybe the diastasis recti gap is, right? So imagine sucking up a blueberry up, so I'm doing that right now. So, and then I'm thinking about bringing the belly button toward my spine, right? But I'm not really. And then I'm thinking about drawing in the upper abs. So then I'm actually using my obliques and the deep core muscles to engage my entire core, not just the rectus, like the superficial layer of the muscles, or just the upper abs that is bullying. So I'm using the entire core, especially the deep core muscles, to do the work. So one more time here. So relax, inhale, exhale. Slowly. right? You see how slow I'm doing this? You see I had lots of loose skin and stretch marks, and that's what happened when I was pushing myself too much after my first postpartum, where I was doing all these vigorous exercises thinking I just need to lose the weight, and the doctor was like, you just need to do a surgery, or maybe you can try to do a physiotherapist, but if you want to have a second baby, then you might want to wait until then to do a surgery. I was not happy to hear that the first time. Now you're saying that it's diastasis recti, which a term that didn't even exist in my dictionary. You're telling me surgery is the only option, but like, you're the doctor, I'm not the doctor. Like, what am I supposed to say to her? I definitely would appreciate it if she was telling me more about this condition, why this happened, and how I can treat it. It would have made my journey a lot smoother. But you could tell that when I was engaging my core, the lower abdomen draw in, the mid drawing in, and then the upper abs, but it's flat. It's not like, whoops. Some people can't even pull in at all. So you wanted to see where you're at. And I was doing it standing, and standing is always the hardest to do. So you wanted to try to do it on your side lying first. And if side lying is very difficult for you, then you have to do it lying on your back so that the gravity is pulling you down, and you can actually try to just mind two muscles connect first. But before you do the engagement, the first thing you need to do, you saw me when I did that, it was actually to inhale, to expand, to do the 360 breath, 360 breathing, inhale to your side, to your back, to your ribs, to your chest, and your belly, so that you're allowing that breath to go into your body and expand, and then exhale to contract. So you need to understand this cueing, because when you go into exercises with P, progressive overloading, you need to understand that, okay, whatever movement that you're doing, core engagement is needed, bracing your core is needed, especially with exercises that are very hard and challenging. And you need challenging exercises in order to stimulate the muscles for it to work and for it to heal, right? Now let's move on to A for alignment. Now we probably know that we have some sort of forward head posture, right? You have rounded shoulders because of, lots of phone scrolling and computer typing. Rounded shoulder, a lot of us has that. But also forward head posture, so your ears is in front of your shoulders like that. But one thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the high hinge point. So I'll show you what that means. So normally, we have our spines in the back. I think we all know that. And then we have our lumbar curve here, so that it's slightly rounded, right? And then you have your butts, right? It's curving into your bum. This is how you should be looking. But a lot of people, after giving birth, and if they haven't been working on their posture, would look like they have a hinge point that is not here, but up here. So if I am standing all day like this, you can see my belly is spilling out forward already. And I am also constantly squeezing that nugget on my back. It's really tight. I might have some back pain in this position. So with this, you're also flaring out your ribs. And I wanted to just show you what rib flares mean in just a moment. But with this posture, it's so hard for you to engage your core, use your core, and brace it for exercises. You might be injuring yourself when you're exercising. So that's why it's important to work on your posture from your shoulders to your ear, right? No forward head, no bulging out. Also in this position, you see how much my rib is squishing down and pushing this belly out too, right? So posture is super, super important. Your hips, right? If you're anterior pelvic tilt or posterior pelvic tilt, think about lengthening yourself, somebody pulling the head, right? Really lengthen, push your chin back so that your ear is on top of your shoulders. So with this, you already look like you're not that pregnant anymore, correct? But also what I really wanted to show you is the flare ribs. If you have upper diastasis recti, you will really want to work on that flare ribs to close that upper diastasis recti. That's why I tell you to check whether you have the upper, middle, or lower diastasis recti or open diastasis recti to target each area. Now I'll show you the angle on what we're looking for with the lipstick here. Okay, my ribs are here, and then I'm gonna draw a line. Okay, this is my ribs, this is my ribs. Do you have a 45-degree angle on each side? Now, looks like this one would have 45-degree angle, but this side looks like it's a little bit wider. So I have a wider flare ribs. So I really need to bring this ribs coming in and back in together, because then we wanted to achieve a 90-degree angle, right? So this is a 45-degree angle on each side, together, 90-degree angle, but ideally they should be symmetrical together, right? So then we are not uneven on either side. So if you have unevenness on either side, meaning some other muscles will compensate and maybe your posture won't look as good. You do not want it to go past 45-degree angle, because if you're something like this, then you're really gripping too much, and that won't be good for you. If you have a upper diastasis recti, you're really stretching this area here. You're stretching this upper diastasis recti here, right? So you might be able to put the fingers gap here because it's stretching so much, especially if you have a wider angles on your ribs. One of my favorite exercises to work on this flare ribs angle is called ha breathing. So you're pretty much saying the ha sound on an exhale. So it's like you're sighing, like that, but much slower, up to 10 to 15 seconds. So I'll show you an example. So it would be inhale, and then so you saw it was really, really slow, and I'm not pushing my stomach out, and I'm just gently getting the airs in the lungs to go out and completely empty, allowing my ribs to press in and down, allowing the ribs to come down. So you wanted to put your hands on the ribs here when you're doing it. You're not manually to like put it in together or adjust your ribs, but it's actually allowing your hands to expand and compress with you so you can feel the feeling. Sometimes our brain works a lot better when we have something to touch instead of like just high, not knowing what really looking for. I do have a more comprehensive ha breathing or how to heal your upper diastasis recti exercises right here, so go check that out. But now I'm going to address the lower diastasis recti. So if you're struggling with the lower belly bulge and you have a wider diastasis recti from middle to your lower, below the belly button, now what we really need to do here is to actually use your lower body, because our hips and our mobility down there has a direct impact on your deep core muscles, especially on the lower abdomen. So you will want to work on more exercises that involves using your legs more, like double leg lift, bird dog, leg lift. Aside from that, you don't want it to be completely stay away from some total body workouts where you use some weight training, as long as you can mind to muscles connect and engage and brace your core, right? So that you can actually use your lower body and challenge your lower core. And this is super effective. I also have a lower diastasis recti exercises comprehensive video right here for you to look, including lots of exercises inside, so do take a look. Now, I wanted to talk about the P here, progressive overloading. The key with healing diastasis is challenge. Your muscles needs a lot of tensions and also lots of challenges for it to rebuild, like tear and rebuild. So same thing with our core. You need to challenge with more advanced exercises. So if let's say the bridge, right, if you're doing a bridge and the bridge seems so easy for you, then you wanted to put a weight on top of your bridge, right? So you wanted to challenge yourself, or like you can use a ankle weight to put it on your leg, on your ankle, so then it's challenge you to make the exercises harder for you. So don't be afraid to try challenging exercises. Even if I'm talking about crunches, plank, you can work your way down there, right? You can work on a countertop plank, and then on a stool, and then on the floor. You don't have to go all the way to the floor from the beginning. You do want to check yourself beside a mirror to look at your form, if you're bulging, if you're doming. So those would be a good indicator that, okay, you can handle the exercise as well. So these workout is not just to help you to heal, but makes you more functional, more capable, that you can go back to how you were before baby. Okay, finally, let's talk about the I for integrative nutrition. So when I talk about nutrition, I'm not just talking about losing the baby weight or losing a certain amount of pounds, but I'm talking about integrative, holistically. How do you manage to work with your nutrition? Because after giving birth, even from pregnancy, even before pregnancy, trying to conceive to after baby, you endure a tremendous amount of stress, both physically and mentally, right? Lack of sleep, you're stressed about taking care of your newborn, you're stressed about the health of the baby, the breast milk, all of that has a lot of stress on your body, and the stress has a lot of impact on your gut health. So do you feel that like the food that you used to eat before, like pasta or bread, didn't really make you feel too uncomfortable? But now, let's say you eat a piece of bread and pasta, and all of a sudden your stomach is ballooned out, like all of a sudden it's so bloated. That's because your gut needs to be worked on, it needs to be managed. So when we talk about nutrition, we are talking about getting enough sleep, also getting managing your stress, and also like working on whole food, getting you to have enough nutrients and vitamins in you, drinking more warm liquid, and triggering, like what are the triggers for you to be bloated and making your stomach more inflamed, like inflammations. But generally, right, gluten, dairy, seed oil, or fried food, processed food, sugar, alcohol, those are the things that triggers your body. The other thing, I was going back to the sleep. I know sleep is probably impossible for most of us mom, but really try to see what your schedule is like, but predict that schedule will change from time to time. Have an open-minded to adapt the flexibility of your baby's schedule and maybe you have other children too. But prioritizing some more time toward your sleep, right? Maybe you have been scrolling through your phone just to wind down before the bed. Okay, skip that part. Social media is not good for you anyways. But if you really cannot sleep, and I totally understand, I had 2 kids under 2, sleep was not possible. Right? But I would try to meditate, right? Meditate things through breathing, right? Breathing was such a miracle for me. Really helps me to relax my mind, my muscles, and actually heal the diastasis recti. That was the missing component and missing puzzle for me. And then also was the exercises components. Every day I would be dedicating 30 minutes to do my exercises. So that's my meditation. That's like my punching bag. That's my stress releaser. So you have to find something that you like and you can dedicate time and stuff to see results that you're looking for, right? Otherwise, why we're doing that? So for you watching this video, I guess that you're looking to lose some weight, you're looking to heal your diastasis recti, prioritize exercises, even going out for a 30 minutes walk on a daily basis, it's a great start for you. Now here you have it, IMAP. Go check out the upper diastasis recti video if you wanted to focus on healing the upper DR, or go check out the how to heal your lower DR video right here if you want to focus on the lower belly. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, subscribe to my channel. I have lots more videos and unique stuff for you, mama. We are here. Mom supports mom. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.